Let me ask you something. Do you work with a venture partner or your husband or your best friend, your family member, significant other, anyone that you share your profits with? Whether you are currently or thinking about it, stick around because in today's video, I'm going to talk to you about how to protect your business assets when you are working with somebody else. Hi, I'm Susan Friesen with eVision Media, and this is Your Business Edge, Amplify Marketing for Small Businesses. Now, first off, I want to clarify that I am not a lawyer, so do not take what I'm going to talk about as any kind of legal advice in any way, shape, or form. What I want to do is bring a very important issue to your attention so that you will then contact a lawyer or attorney to help you with this critical part of having a partnership with somebody else in your business. I want to start off by telling you a story. Many years ago, I had a craft business and I was in partnership with a neighbor of mine. She lived across the street. We had a shared passion for creating crafts. This was back when country crafts was huge, and so we created wreaths and satin albums and lots of Christmas decorations, and we had a blast doing this. But after a little while, I started to notice something. I started to notice that I was putting in way more effort and time and energy into our business than my neighbor was. And what we didn't do is we didn't have an agreement in place right off at the beginning. Who is responsible for what? How much time and effort are we supposed to be putting into this business together? And so luck has it that she was also ready to kind of leave our partnership. The business was actually growing. She didn't have enough time to put into it. So we did end up dissolving our partnership where I bought out but 50% of the business. Now, in hindsight, she really didn't deserve to have 50% of that business, but we didn't have an agreement in place to give any other indicator. So that's what I ended up paying her. So does this at all sound familiar to you? It can be very organic and nothing official at all, but all of a sudden, hey, you're making money and things are happening. So if this is you, then again, I want to stress that I am not a lawyer, but from my perspective, these are the kinds of things that you need to have in this legal document, this contract that signifies that you are in business with a partner. And you want it to include things like who is responsible for what role in the partnership, like who does what percentage of ownership should each get. Then the distribution of profits and losses. So who gets what and how when profits are made? At what point do you start paying each other those profits? And of course, if there's losses, who and how much do you need to dip into your own accounts in order to pay the bills that are coming up if you are not at a profit base yet? And then the sticky point of who owns the data of what your partnership has accumulated over the term of your business. If you are doing any kind of list building, or if you have made sales and you have a roster of clients and all of their information, that is all data. So what happens to that data if your partnership does dissolve? And that would even include the stats and analytics and any other kind of data that could be considered proprietary information that does pertain specifically to this partnership. The agreement should also include how long does this partnership agreement last? Is there a due date? And at that due date, do you need to reassess the document and make any changes to it and start fresh? And another important thing to put in there is how or if can another partner dissolve this relationship on their own, and how would that look like? So having such a legal document prepared by a lawyer is so vital for so many reasons, like having clarity on the roles and responsibilities that each partner has, Who is the final decision maker? Things like that. It's important because it'll help avoid tax issues. It's important to avoid legal and liability issues as well, and having clarity on the differences between all the different types of partnerships that could be formed. And having the full understanding of what happens or what would happen if major changes are made to your partnership, such as what would a buyout agreement look like? And then how to deal with conflicts of interest and non-compete issues. And lastly, having such an agreement in place will really help with disputes. So it'll make disputes much easier because it's in black and white how to handle those kinds of disputes. Who is that final decision maker, and how are you going to make those conflicts be resolved when they come up? Because rest assured, they will come up. So as you can see, there are multiple reasons why you have to have a signed agreement in place, drawn up by an attorney, whether your partnership is simply with a neighbor or your husband or significant other, a good friend, a professional whose services are complementary to yours, or anybody else. Always, always, always have a signed document in place to protect your assets and for them to protect their assets and to make sure things run smoothly from there on in. Now, I have a favor to ask. If you like this video and you like the information that I share on these tips, I would love it if you gave it a like and also shared it to your social media channels so that others can benefit from the information that I share here too. I would truly greatly appreciate it. And I would love to hear from you as well. Have you ever experienced any challenges working in a partnership? And did you have a binding legal agreement in place when you first started that partnership? I would love to hear your story, so please leave a comment below. And so that's it for this Business Edge episode. I'll talk to you next time. Bye for now.